Today we're going to have a walk from the entrance up to about halfway up the Howburn, just to see how the development has worked out. And with me are Gillian Turner from the Town Council, who's going to ask all the questions. I'll be trying to give the answers. And then the steady hand holding the camera is Angela Logan. Stay with us. What you can see here is a whole range of trees. You can see birch and there's sycamore. I think there's a pine across to the left, but there's none of the original oak trees left. Oops, there's one across there. But the reason it's like this is that the wood was, this end of the wood was cut down probably during the First World War for timber. So there's none of the native trees left. But what we do have in most of the wood is a lot of beech, very old beech, 200-300-year-old beech, and they were planted in the 18th century, 19th century to provide timber for the carpenters, for the wheelwrights and the millwrights and so on. So it was used in the town. So this is a working woodland, and it always has been a working woodland. It had been buzzing with people 100 years ago. Foresters, people going to work, that kind of thing. A real highway. This old beech tree, we've measured this one and we think, well, it's at least 200 years old, and there are trees that are older than that, but you can get a bit of scale there from our tree hugger. Well, here's one everybody knows, and obviously I'm not going to touch it. It's metal and it stings like crazy. But the reason I'm pointing it out is that this plant needs a very fertile soil. So it isn't one you would normally see in these woods because the soil isn't fertile enough. But we've got it, and we've got garlic, and we've got one or two others along this path, which tells you the soil is very fertile. Very good now quality. That is because of humans. That's because the humans have been trampling through here. It may be dogs coming here, it may be humans coming here, but the soil fertility has been increased. So we've got this. This isn't the sort of native woodland stuff, and this is what always happens around paths. You change the flora because of humans coming near the place. So you've got to control where humans go. Yeah. Encourage them to go to the places where it can't do any harm. One of the interesting things about woodlands is that the plants here have got to be able to withstand animals, because animals, especially in the winter, need food. So where they're going to look in the winter, they're going to look underground for bulbs and things like that. And in the summer, they're going to come after greenery. But what you find is most of the plants are actually poisonous.
To the animals?
Yes, as well as humans. Yeah. Or at the very least, they've got a pretty strong taste. So almost all of these woodland plants have got a sort of chemical warfare mechanism against
to protect them,
animals.
To protect themselves from being
Garlic's
eaten.
the obvious one.
Yeah.
You know, most animals don't eat garlic bulbs.
Right.
Okay, cooked, but not if you're a mouse, you're not going to like it. But here's bracken, because bracken is the sort of king of this. Bracken is extremely poisonous.
Right.
When the young fronds are coming up, they've got cyanide in them. They're very high in cyanide. And then as they get older, they develop a whole range of poisons which are much longer lasting than cyanide. So they've got things in there which make it difficult to digest your food. They've got something in there which prevents the metabolism of vitamin B. They've got a carcinogen in there. Not sure what that is, but there's a definite carcinogen in bracken. And there's something in most of these ferns which prevents insects from developing from larval to pupal stage. So these are little sort of chemical warfare factors. Absolutely amazing plants they are.
So if anyone gets poisoned at the town council, you know where I've been collecting my cyanide.
It's when she comes in with a bag of bracken in her back.
That's when you start
watch your sandwiches. Watch your sandwiches.
Yes, that's when you need to get worried.
That's right. There's another one here which you can see. If you see, this is wood sorrel. Yeah.
It looks like clover.
Looks like clover, but this again, ancient woodland species. Do you want to give it a chew? And I'll tell you what's in it. When you
it's not cyanide, is it?
Oh, it's not cyanide. No, I promise you it's not cyanide. Keep it on your tongue. Get a sort of sharp acid. Lemony.
Lemony, yeah, like lemongrass type.
That's oxalic acid.
Alright.
That's oxalate, which is what you get in rhubarb.
Alright.
And rhubarb, but rhubarb leaves especially. If you get in large quantities, it is poisonous. But you've got to eat a lot. You've got to eat, that's it. Filmed the last one, but I took it as well. But it's another one of these things to stop it being grazed.
Yeah.
So everything that's in here
so
is
nature's protecting itself.
Bluebells, crush a bluebell stem and it's slimy.
Right.
It's got a bad sort of texture in the mouth. It's just totally slimy. There's this slime comes up and sticks in your fingers.
So that prevents
Everything in
animals
here
eating
is
it.
protected. Yeah. It's not too far. If you keep on going up here, it gradually opens out and you're on the edge of the new hospital. And it fits in very nicely into the background. So you walk up the edge of that and you've got some nice views across the valley. It's a bit more open, lovely views across the valley. And eventually you then come onto the Cottingwood Common, where you can walk to Hebron, or you can turn left and go to West Cottingwood and down Cottingwood Lane, or through Fulbeck and on to Lancaster Park. So you've got a whole series of walks that come from here. Yes.
So you're saying, Alan, this is the one that you've had to do a lot of work because this was just impassable.
It was absolutely impassable. This was a gully, and it was solid mud and water in the winter, especially last winter. It was absolutely impossible. So people were walking on that ridge. You can see where people are walking on the routes there.
Yeah.
People are walking on that ridge there to get past.
Oh,
You could easily drop over the edge. Absolutely, and you see it was eroded and everything. But now the path's been put in. It's brilliant. Really good job, this.
Well, thank you very much for our tour of the woods.
You're welcome. You'll have
And
to
I've
come
learned
back
a
again.
lot, especially about poisoning people.